Hello there and welcome to another video of Des Illustrates. Today we are gonna take a look at the Van Gogh interference and metallic colors. We just had a little sneak peek at the Spectrum Noir sparkles, but we are not gonna look at those in this video. That will be a later video, but I filmed both at the same day, so that's why they appear in some of the shots. The interference colors and the metallic colors are from the same line as the set that I put up a first impression about earlier. I will link that video down below. But in that set were 2 metallic and 2 interference colors. So I added the ones that I was missing. That's the ones that we are unwrapping now. And now I have all of those, and I am gonna dedicate this video especially to those. You can get these in a separate set of 12 little pens in a black plastic palette, but since I already had 4 and a web shop here in the Netherlands had these on sale, I decided to buy them separate. There are 6 metallic colors and 6 interference colors. The metallic colors are light gold, deep gold, bronze, copper, silver and graphite. And the interference ones are green, blue, violet, red, yellow and white. Next to these I already own the Fine-Tech metallic or pearlescent colors they are called. And the big difference that I noticed right away is that the Van Gogh give pigment information for all of these and the Fine-Tech do not. So I do appreciate that, and they also all have information about how transparent they are and how light fast they are. So there is more information and the paints feel for that reason more professional, even though I really enjoy painting with the Fine-Tech ones. And I also think they are really good. So after that I was really curious to see how these perform. What I'm showing here is that on the front and the back of the packaging are 2 different light fastness ratings. I had some people say they had a bit of trouble with understanding that, and it's basically just 2 different scales. The front is a star rating 1 to 3 and 3 stars being the best, and the back is a different rating where they use Roman numbers 1 to 5, and in that system 1 is the best. There are many different light fastness ratings, how they are done, different scales. I will not get further into that in this video, but let me know down below if you would like a video about that, about how different brands and different mediums use different scales. Here I prepared all the little cards for in my new swatch book. With them there were also laying the ones for the Spectrum Noir, but like I said, that will be a different video. And then now we will start swatching out the new colors. I already did the ones I had, the 4, and you can see that the interference colors, if you have them down on the paper, they look a bit grayish white, and if you shine them a bit in the sun, that the sun hits them in a certain way, they have a different color. And the metallic ones are just as shiny as normal metallic ones. They are really opaque. I also tested them in the Van Gogh review video, the first impression one of the 48 set, on some black paper, and they show up really nice on that too, so that's an extra win. The first color that we are gonna do right here is the graphite. This is also listed as a metallic color. However, I expected it to be a bit like a graphite pencil because of the name. And you will see in a minute that it looks a bit different. What I'm doing here is wetting the pens, all of them, before I'm starting, because metallic colors have one thing in common, all the ones I have from different brands, and that's that they take longer to activate. So if you are planning to paint with these or metallic paints from any other brand, I highly recommend to drop some water on them and let them sit for a bit. Some have to sit a bit longer, others don't take that long. These from Van Gogh didn't take super long to reactivate. You can see I now paint with the first one that I dropped a bit of water on, and it took just now maybe half a minute and then I could already paint with it. I do have also some metallic colors from Prima Marketing, and those take several minutes sitting in with some water on top to be activated. So that's a bit of a difference between brands, and these from Van Gogh activate pretty quickly for metallic colors, so that's a big plus, because I'm personally not too patient with waiting for watercolors to activate. So then I start rubbing the pens, and to be honest, that's something you can better not do because it ruins your brushes. So that's for me a really big plus in these pens, that they activate this quickly. The Finetech are even a bit slower than this. They take a bit longer to activate and to become really opaque, while these were already opaque with just half a minute. You can see on the little cards the pigment codes I was talking about. This one, for example, has 3 whites in it and a red. None of those are micas, so the mica itself is not listed, but I'm pretty sure mica also doesn't have a pigment code. But yeah, these are the metallic colors though, so they do have mica in them. But I do appreciate them listing the colors they did use that do have a pigment code in them, because if you would like to drop them into another color and by accident mix a bit of it, you do know what's already in there. For example, this one has a red in it, so if you would like to drop this bronze into something that is green and you by accident would mix it a bit with the green, then there's a good chance this color will become a bit more of a muddy, toned down, muted color, and that it won't be pretty anymore. So having this information does help with making color choices when you're painting. So that's a big plus for me. You can see while I'm painting these that again the bronze is also laying down pretty opaque. I'm trying to make these swatch cards more opaque on the left and then make them less opaque on the right, so make like a transition so you can see the full range of colors you can make with that one color. So it's a more complete of a swatch book, because some colors do have a really big difference in when they are more opaque on the paper or less opaque and more watered down, so more pigment versus water and less pigment versus water. And I think that's in a swatch book, or even if you make swatches for your own in your sketchbook to just try them out, try to see the full range that the color has to offer, because some colors are really different. The third color that we are swatching is deep gold. I already had the light gold in the full set, and I must say that I appreciate this deep gold much more than the light gold. This deep gold, like the name says a bit too, is a much deeper color, a much richer color than the light gold, and I do think in nature paintings, even just for a backdrop, that if you maybe make a gold circle around a subject, this color is much nicer to use in nature painting than the light gold. However, in the end, that's all personal preference. Some might like the light gold more and others the deep gold more. The next color that we are going to swatch is the interference green. But before we do, we will take a closer look at the metallic swatches first. The first metallic swatch that we are looking at is graphite. And like I said, I don't really like the graphite as a graphite. I see it more as a platinum color. The bronze is really pretty and the deep gold too. However, I did have some more trouble with getting the bronze opaque and even on the swatch card, where I didn't have that problem with the deep gold. This next color is the first interference color of the new ones I got. This one is interference green. And as you can see, the true green sparkly color comes most in front if you paint it over a dark paper, and the interference color on the white paper is a bit visible, especially when it's dry and you hold the paper a bit in sunlight. Then you can really see the green even on the white, but it's not really visible. And also something that I was a bit disappointed about these colors, that the first two I got didn't have the blue and the white, but these new four did have, is that if they are laid down on the white paper and you don't hold them in the sun that you see the interference color, they have a slight tint to them. Like the green that we just swatched is pink when you don't hold it in the sunlight, and this yellow is a bit blue, and the red is green, and the violet is also a bit green. So that was a bit of a disappointment for me, because I was planning to use them in some nature paintings, for example in beetles and in butterflies, and then you know when the sun hits their white spots a certain way, that they sometimes do have blue and violet and red in them, because the sun picks up the shininess of their shields and of the little scales the butterflies have. But if you do that with these paints, then you will have this slight weird tint to that spots where you apply it, and that's not really something you would want. However, I do think I can still use them in the nature paintings I was planning, but then a bit different, because I saw that the weird tint didn't happen when you painted it on the black. And so if I would, with some inked pen that isn't water activated again, if it's dry, or I also have some ink in a bottle that also doesn't activate again when it's dry, you can do it on some watercolor, dark watercolor, but that will activate again if you scrub too much. Dus that way you have to be really careful, but that's how I plan to use it, just on dark spots, and ink those with black ink or with some Payne's Gray or however, and then put some of the interference color on top of it when it's completely dry. And that way you will have the pretty violet that shines even more brighter in the right light, because I'm filming these from an angle so you can see the interference colors right away. But if you look at them up front, then you can see the violets and everything on the black right away, but the really vibrant shininess they have is only visible if you look at it at an angle or in the sun. So that would be also still nice for nature paintings, for the dark spots, but I wouldn't use it for the light spots as I was thinking when I ordered them, just because of that weird tint they have when they are on the white paper. Then this interference red is already the last color that we are swatching. I didn't film swatching the few that I already had because I already showed how they laid down in the first impression video from the Van Gogh set. So I painted those off camera. I however did include them in the after shots where we will look at the swatches dry. Here you can see all 6 of the interference colors, and here you can also see the weird shift that I'm talking about, like the green in the top right is pink, and then again green when you hold it in the light. But yeah, and if you have a painting hanging on the wall, you will see that slight tint in it when you look at it from the other way, or when you look at it up front. You can already see it happen in this close-up. As we go over them, they go from green to red and so forth. So yeah, that's something to hold in account when you're painting with them. I however do still plan on using them, and I think they are really pretty. They also re-wetted really easily, just like the metallic ones, and I could paint with them really quickly. So it's also a bonus. And you can see that even in the pens, you can already see the color it's gonna be if you hold them a bit sideways. When you look at them from the front, they are just white, but just look at them a bit from the side and you will see the color that you have already, so you don't have to always look up the numbers on the pens. However, they are all numbered, so that's also really handy. Then here we have all the metallic colors, plus the ones that I already had and didn't show in swatching. You can see here that the copper and the light gold and the silver, I believe I already had, they are really different colors, all of them, so there are not really similar colors. And you can also see what I talked about earlier, that the deep gold is just like the name, deeper. Here we have a close-up of the graphite, and I just wanted to show that on the more watery side, the graphite does look a bit more like graphite. So if you want to use it like graphite, I would recommend using it with a lot of water, and then it will get these interesting textures. With that, we already came to the end of this video. You can see all 12 colors that there are. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I also want to thank my Patreons for supporting me over there, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!